Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending this event to hopefully announce IAStream, a brand new internal audit software designed for smaller internal audit departments. If you are online, if you've signed up, if you're attending the live event, do me a favor, just drop a hello in the comments for me so that way I can see who all is attending live. I know we have about 35 people who have registered for this event, which is just amazing to me. But at least drop a hello so that way I can see who all is attending. But thank you for joining me. We're going to give it about a minute, maybe 30 seconds or so to let a few more join. We already have 6, 7 in the room, which is just fantastic, and I appreciate it. So, hey, there's my buddy Richard. Hey, Richard, really appreciate you saying hello. Really, thank you for joining. We've got someone from Wisconsin. I can't see the name, but pretty sure who this is. But I don't want to make any assumptions. But thank you for joining in as well. This is a software that can be really just about anywhere in the world. I've tried to build it to make it user friendly. I've tried to make it where it's anyone can use it. So I really appreciate you signing in. There's Mr. Blackman. Hey, John, how you doing? Thank you for joining in as well. We'll give it just another moment here. We've already got 6 or 7 people logged in, so really, again, appreciate it. Hey, AJ, how you doing? Great to have you as well, my friend. It's always fun when you're solo on a camera. You never know what's going to happen. I've had technology problems all morning, which is just so much fun to deal with. But so far, so good. So hopefully this whole event goes smoothly. We'll wait just a few more seconds here. For those that joined a couple minutes or after I asked for it, please just drop a hello in the comments so that way I can see who all is joining me and we have some interactions. I welcome you to have comments, ask questions in the chat. I will respond where I can. There might be some things that I don't want to reveal yet, but we'll see. We're going to give a slight overview and background of what I'm doing, what I've created, why I've created it. And then also I'm going to give you a live demo. You're going to see live screens of it. I'm going to go through what process owners are going to see, what internal auditors will see. So that way you can see exactly what I've built and how it looks. All right, so we've got at least 10 people in the room already. So I'm going to go ahead and get things started. So again, thank you for taking the time. It's noon here in Houston, so I know it's lunchtime. It's kind of a drizzly day outside, which is not fun, but I really appreciate it. Chafundo is here. Thank you, sir, for joining me. It's been too long since we interacted, sir, so thank you for joining in. So let me get my big, ugly picture out of the way. So for those who don't know me, very, very brief overview here. I started Revision Management Consulting, or RVMC, back in late 2017. I've got over 16. I was actually counting it up earlier. It'll be closer to 17 years of experience in internal audit, internal controls, and SOX, and similar areas. And I built RVMC on 3 main principles. For one, I want to keep overhead low. Maintain lower hourly rates as a result of that. I only provide experienced resources, meaning that I have to have at least 8 years of experience before I'll even talk to you to be a consultant for RVMC. But then also I want to focus on supporting internal audit leaders and internal audit people, CFOs, business owners, and not have the focus on RVMC. I believe if I take care of my consultants, if I take care of my clients, then RVMC will be fine. My family will be taken care of as well. So with these focuses in mind, I wanted to design this software with a similar focus. There we go. Probably can't read most of this, and that's okay. Again, focusing on internal audit, internal controls, best business practices and such. And So why am I doing this? Over the last 17 years of experience, I've had a lot of people come to me and say, Thomas, right now we're using Excel, maybe SharePoint, Word. What kind of internal audit software do you recommend for us to implement? And normally my response has been nothing. I think most of the big names are overpriced. I think they have a lot of extra bells and whistles that just are not needed. They're not necessarily user friendly. And quite often you're downloading data into Excel and then creating your reports from Excel and Word instead of having a easy user friendly reporting tool. So I built it and designed it with with in mind of good dashboards so that process owners and auditors can see what's going on and make it easier to report to the audit committee and executive management what's going on. So without further ado, let me announce IAStream to streamline your internal audit processes. You're going to be able to manage your audits. You'll be able to do SOX testing and tracking, have your process documentation management right there, have customized reporting. But it's not just for SOX. It's also going to be for non-SOX shops, standard internal audits, customized internal audits. I tried to focus this on not just internal controls and Sarbanes-Oxley. Yes, it can definitely do that. My background is in SOX, so you'll see some nuances that are very much catered to SOX. But every time we implement this, we're going to make sure it's implemented the way you are going to use it and not force you to fit into a box or square that I'm wanting to create here. So before I go any further here, I'm actually going to edit my name here to say creator of a change it up to creator of IAStream because that's who I am and that's what I've done. And I'm very, very proud of this. And it's not a final product. You will see that here in a moment, but I'm hoping that everyone will really appreciate what I've done and we'll see how they can use it here very soon. So a few important details. First off, again, it's in pre-beta status. I've had a lot of good feedback from internal audit directors, internal audit managers, literally giving them the sign-in information and telling them, go play with this, try to break it. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. And we're going to make changes where we feel like they need to be made, but we're not going to make changes just for the sake of changes, right? During this beta process, it is going to be completely cloud-based, mainly because as I am building it, as I'm making changes, I want it to be easy and simple to implement, easy to to expand and add in beta testers and even post-beta testers. But there will be the option to move it onto your company servers where you have full control and access in the future if you want to. If you want to keep it on the cloud-based side, that's fine. That will be an option as well. And there's not going to be any price difference either. So it's really what your organization prefers to run. We will also have the option and the ability to attach to your Active Directory. So that way you don't have a separate sign-in system. That is one I have not worked on yet, but I will be very soon. I'll give you some more details on that in a second, but that's also going to be an option to do. Everyone is different when it comes to dashboards, reporting, how you want things set up. This is not one of those applications where you have to do it the way it comes out of the box and that's it. And it's also not the type that you have to modify and edit everything before you can use it. It will come in a base format. You can say, yep, I love it. Or you can say, well, I don't like it. Let's make these changes. And that's fine. I want it to be as user-friendly and as usable for you as possible. If there are certain aspects that you're not going to use ever, we just won't even have them on there. Why have a lot of extra junk that you're not actually going to use? All of the services that I am using to build and host this platform have current SOC 2 Type 2 reports, and they are also HIPAA compliant. And many of these, I say HIPAA, I say SOC 2 Type 2. There are other various different types of certifications for banking aspects, for the credit unions and some of those types that really rely on you have to have these certifications in place before they can use your applications. I'm making sure all of the third parties that I'm using to build and host this have those compliances in place. So I want to make sure your data is secure and taken care of. Another important part is I am a user. I have a client right now who I'm providing co-sourced Sarbanes-Oxley implementation for and testing. I am using this. I will be using it even heavier going into this coming year. So I will be doing the testing. I will be looking at the review. I will be using it for reporting. We'll be using it to share with KPMG, so that way their external auditors can review some of our work as well. I say that because I know how it should work, and I'm going to make sure it actually does work the way it's supposed to. I will also have the lovely growing pains as we go through it. Now, also, before we're just about ready to actually show the live demo part, but before we do that, I do want to make sure it's really clear. Any data that you see as we go through this is only for demonstration purposes. Meaning, if I have a control marked as failed, don't try to figure out who this client is and say that, oh, they have that control failing. That's not the case at all. It's just example information and data so you can see some of the reporting tools and how the results look. So without further ado, let's see if my system will keep working for me here. So this is the first page we have right now on IAStream. Most of the time, you're going to have a dashboard that you immediately log into. The first one I'm going to show you here is the process owner page. Now, typically, a process owner will sign into IAStream, and they will automatically get to this page right here. You can see from the bottom here, this is a current status of the testing results. They can immediately see what controls or what processes are open, passes, fails, and then they can even scroll down. Right now, I have this sorted by business process. If they want it sorted a different way, they can very easily do this. Also from here, they can look at their control matrix. And if they click on this button, it loads up fairly quickly. It's a little bit hard to see on the small screen, I'm sure, but you can easily take a look, and we have the business process, we have the objective, the risk, control description, etc. All of this is customizable, where if you don't want all of those columns in there, that's fine. Or if you want more than that, we can very easily add it to it as well. If they need to update a control, they simply, from their dashboard, hit the control update button. Now here, they can actually sort it more to narrow it down for a business process, key versus non-key, anything that makes it easier for them. But if I just pull up the whole thing, this is where, if they need to add a control, they can simply add a control at the very top here. You can edit individual sections, or let's say, let's see, right here we are signed in. This is Don. Actually, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to sort it by Brian for business owner. Let's say Brian has left the company or gotten a promotion, and now we have to replace Brian with someone else as the process owner. I can literally just click this button and hit the edit button, and I can change Brian to, say, Don for a business owner. Hit update, and now Brian doesn't have any business processes or controls, sorry. But if I move it over to Don, now all of Brian's are now Don's. It was that easy for me to do a bulk change of process owner for these controls if someone quit, left a job, or whatever. I'm going to do another quick bulk change just to get that moved back for our demonstration purposes. There we go. And then the last page for the business process owners is the process documentation. And this is very simple. You sort by a person and you look. We can see the business processes that person is responsible for. I can see the person, the last time it was updated, and then we can see their process documents right here. This is a very simple spot for you to upload your documents. You can have any kind of updated comments. Very simple right here. It's going to be time-stamped, so that way you know exactly when it was updated for easy reference. And you can also look to see who hasn't updated theirs in a while. All of these that I've been going to the business process owner homepage are also available in the menu up here. So instead of having to go back and forth, you can very easily go to the exact same spots right here on the menu. Now for the part that most of you are probably curious about, and that is the internal audit page. Let me get signed into that real quick. There we go. So this screen here is for the internal auditors themselves, more the staff manager level. Down here is the current testing status of controls that they are responsible for testing. So they can look and see how many tests are in progress, how many are currently open, all of this. They can see it by business process as well. You can scroll down, and again, this is customizable. I have it sorted by business process and then the process owner name. You again can modify this however you want, but you can also see here in this column, I have management comments. And again, you might not be able to see it for the screen size, sorry. This is where they can look and see for these failed controls, the process owner has put in certain comments of, yes, we agree this has failed. This is what we're doing for remediation purposes or anything like that. So they're able to see that status right here on this main page. They again can see the control documentation like the process owners do. The audits. So from here, this is going to be where they spend a lot of their time, right? Actually doing the testing. If they need to test a control, they simply hit this testing button. They can sort it however they want. I'm going to go ahead and go to Thomas and do a search. And these are all the controls that are assigned to Thomas right now. Now, if I wanted to, I can go back to search, keep it on Thomas, and I'm going to put it to open. Let's see if this functionality works. Yes, it does. And these are all the open controls that need to be tested. And from here, I can simply just click on the control number, and I can do my testing. Now, again, all of this can be specialized however you want it to be. So if you're looking at it and you say, well, I don't want the background to be edited every time or the scope to be edited, that's fine. It's very easy. Or if there's column that you want to add to it, we can very easily add add items as well. But this is very easy for us to enter in, make comments, do the testing, have the conclusions, and then you hit update, and it will actually send an email to the manager saying this has been updated and it's ready for review. To do non-SOX testing, standard internal audits, if we click over here on Start an Audit, this is again up here, we can put in the audit name. You can put in the year. There's a lot of details here you can add however you want. Sorry, I'm getting notifications of comments and I'm trying to make sure I can actually see them. That is one problem with, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so from here, if you want to, say, assign a control, you're doing a specialized audit, but you know it's attached to a certain SOX control, you can easily drop the control number here. One thing that I want to update and make better, if you have to select the control number, but then you have to go in and find the control description. That's stupid. So I'm going to be fixing that to where it's automated. You click the control number and it pulls up the control description as well. That's an example of something that's in pre-beta status. From here, you can again update background, scope, test procedures, your conclusions, upload any kind of support files you want, and then you hit submit, and it's automatically updated in the system. To look at results, again, it's very, very simple. You look over here you look at the SOX testing results. I can look at everything that has failed and hit search. And I can see all of the controls that I have tested that have failed. And I can even see management comments, remediation support, and all of the status there. And it's the same with the non-SOX status. I can see all of the non-SOX audits going on. I can see any kind of comments, any kind of conclusions, the review status, and management comments as well. So again, I'm trying to make it simple, but also very informative, very intuitive, easy to find the information that you're looking for. And then the last page is the manager dashboard. Let me get logged into it real quick, because this is the part that a lot of you are actually wanting to see, right? This is the part that you want to know the status of your department and how they are doing. And again, this is very, very personalized. So I know everyone's going to want to see something different when it comes to what your dashboard looks like. But again, you can scroll down here and I can see the exact testing status of my department. I can see what business processes are open, how many controls are left to test. And then I have it sorted down here for test results status. So I have it by fail, in progress, open, pass, and ready for review. So if I expand the ready to review, I can see that there's one audit right now that's ready for review. And from here, I can view the details. And I can see exactly the results from the audit, what the test conclusions were, any kind of comments from management. This column here, I actually have, sometimes you have a conclusion from an audit, but you want different verbiage for the report. You can put the wording in here, so that way when you go to click on the report, it will say only state what you're wanting it to show in that report, if that makes sense. Again, fully customizable and hopefully easier to use than than what else you see out there. Good. Now the reporting tool I am not clicking on at this time because it's still a work in progress, but it's a work in progress that I've paused. And the reason why I paused that work in progress is simply because I want to make sure it's customized the way you want the reports to look. I can do it 50 different ways, but that's not the way you're necessarily going to want to do it. So charts, graphs, status reports, due dates, remediation due dates, timelines for when you expect certain audits to be done. All of that can be customized in this software to where you just hit a button for reporting and it comes out in a PDF format or Word or Excel, so that way it's easy for you to report on a little bit later on. Making sure no more comments going on here. All right. So back over here. So what's my to-do list? I just showed you pretty much all of IAStream and the current status of IAStream. Again, it's geared towards internal audit departments, trying to make your audits smoother, a little bit more streamlined. One thing that I really want to improve on is making slightly smoother workflows. Some of the process of reviewing it, sending the review comments over is not as smooth as what I want. So I want to try to make sure that's the smoothest process we can do. Amitesh just asked, does it support 2 simultaneous audits? Yes, you can have as many audits, as many test of controls or internal audits running at the same time that you want. Good question, sir. One challenge that I know a lot of us have is the lovely Big 4 control cover sheets. That has been a big thorn in my side. I don't enjoy them at all, I won't lie. I have a goal of trying to put into IAStream a way to make the control cover sheets easier. Again, going back to saying that I'm using this for one of my clients, I'm going to be hands-on working on that to try to make that process improved and streamlined. So that way, when we're working with process owners and control owners to do these control cover sheets, to make it a little bit smoother and easier for us to do. If you notice, I didn't have a lot of grids where you had 60 different samples and 5 different attributes that you were testing within the software. Right now, I have a button where you can upload the spreadsheet to show the detailed sample testing that way. I don't like that. I want to have it in the application. So that's something that I'm going to be adding into the software as well. And then audit templates. I've had multiple internal audit directors reach out to me and say, hey, do you have a template to do this type of audit? And a lot of times I do, or at least I've done those audits before and I can clean them up and provide some of those templates or the advice. And so I want to build in the templates so that if you want to do the test of credit card usage, you can hit the template and it will start it for you, so you're not having to reinvent the wheel each time. Richard, my friend, appreciate it. Appreciate the positive words. Yes, Mr. Robert Barry. The cover sheets are so much fun to do, aren't they? Speaking of Robert Barry, he is not a sponsor of this at all, but I really enjoy his I Love Audit mugs here. So thank you for being here, my friend. He's a great person to work with. Let's see. Oh, got a quick question here from Chifundo. The non-SOX audit section, are you able to customize the audit test results section for a shop presents findings to the 5 C's criteria? We can customize anything you want to, sir. It's very simple. What I would do is during the implementation phase, I would ask you, what do you want it to be tied back to? What do you want to, how do you want it to be reported on? How do you want, what do you want the auditors to really focus on? And we can work together to make sure anything that's not out of the box is specialized to what you need. So that's very, very easy for us to do. Yes. And then risk assessment tools. For risk assessments, I want to make sure it's done right. That's why I have not built it into this platform yet. I want to make sure it's user-friendly, easy for you to do within the system before I put it into the system. And everybody has a different opinion when it comes to risk assessments and how you're going to do it. And do you do a heat map or not? I want to make sure all of that is streamlined and set up before I turn it on in the application. So that's something that I want to put in, so that way we can even tie our audits and the controls back to a risk assessment that's in the system instead of done outside of it and separately. So a great question here is, how would the uploaded test documentation be secured? So very good question. All of the platforms and the subsystems that I am using for IAStream are SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. They're also HIPAA compliant. They have several other of the compliances when it comes to some of the banking and other PII information. So I am being very mindful of what applications I'm using so that all of your test documentation, all of the support documentation is properly secured and reasonably risk-free when it comes to external sources getting it. And during the process, if you reached out to me and said, Thomas, I'm real interested in the software, can we talk about some of those details like this? Absolutely. I can give you more of the behind the scenes look at what I'm using to build it on the platform, what those SOC reports look like, so that way we can give you the assurance that everything is taken care of. If I didn't, that was one of the first things I looked for when I was building this platform, was the tools that I was using. I want to make sure they do have some type of a SOC 2 Type 2 report or other type of compliance capabilities. Otherwise, it's completely useless to us. And so there's no way I would be even thinking about doing that. So, but great question. Thank you for asking. So what about availability? First off, right now, beta testing is available for sign up. You'll see at the very bottom of the screen here a website, www.iastream.net/info-page. And I'm going to attempt to put it into the chat right now. Let's see if it's going to work for me. There we go. So that link there in the chat is, you click there. At the very bottom of the page, there's a very simple sign up form. It is not a firm commitment to do beta testing, but it's more of letting me know, yes, I'm interested. Yes, I would like to learn more. I might be open to beta testing, anything like that. So click that link after this presentation, fill out the form and let me know, and we can talk more. I'm hoping to have 2 to 3 beta opportunities available. I also plan on using it myself, as I said, so it's going to be more than just a handful of users. And then in January and February, I'm going to open up probably another 3 slots. By then, beta testing should be done, but you never know. The more you use it, the more you find that's broken. But that's the goal there. So we'll have 2 or 3 beta opportunities. Honestly, as soon as you're ready to work on this implementation and get this started at your company, we can start doing the beta testing, tomorrow. And then January, February, once I feel comfortable with the process of an implementation and having this ran by a department, then I'll open up those 3 slots there. And then I'm going to do a slow scale up here in 2024 in 5 customer increments. So once the beta testing is done, once these other 3 or so are using it, then we're going to, I'll open it up for 5 different customers based on pretty much this form that I just sent a link to. And once those 5 are set, I'll open up for another 5 and we'll do a slow scale up. Part of the reason why I'm doing the slow scale up is because I want to make sure I have the proper support on the back end on my side so that customer service stays strong, both for this as well as for our VMC. So I'm going to do a very careful scale up to make sure that service is at the highest level possible. So what about cost? First off, Amitesh asked about what cloud platform am I using? That's a little bit of that back-end detail, my friend, that I'm not discussing on this show right now. But it's a good question. It's a valid question. I appreciate you asking it. Robert Berry saying he's a beta tester. He's an alpha tester. What are you talking about, man? He's one of the ones that I actually sent the access rights to ahead of time, let him kind of play around with it. And he's been giving some good feedback, as well as a few others. I don't want to name them specifically because I didn't get their permission to name, but since he put a comment in there, I'm gonna comment anyway. So what's the cost? First off, we're not doing any implementation fees, at least not here in 2023, 2024. We're also not doing any user license fees. There will never be user license fees for this software. If you have 3 people in your department and you add 2 or 3 people into it, I don't want that to cost you more. If you feel like more members of management should have access to the system, I don't want you to worry about user license costs to be able to add people into the system. This needs to be as helpful and usable to you as possible. So we're starting off with a very simple $5,000 a year annual fee, or you can just do a month-to-month fee of $500 a month. And there's a 60-day money-back guarantee from the start. So we do the implementation, we get things running for you. 2 months down the road, you say, Thomas, this just isn't working out for me, or I'd rather go back to Excel or whatever. I say, no problem. I refund your money and we call it a day. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I like to give that assurance there. I feel that as we build this out, as I improve on some of the reporting capabilities, even add in some of the risk assessments, some of the fees will probably go up a little. Mostly because the costs on the back end to run that sort of thing, especially if I can get in some data analytics, the cost might be going up. But my intent is to always keep it well below what you can find on the market. So there's no worry of it being triple the cost in a year whenever your contract is being renewed. It's not going to be that way ever. And in fact, those that sign up early most likely will not see an increase in that annual fee ever. Out of appreciation of being some of the first ones to come in and implement this. So what's next? So it's very simple. I dropped in that link in the comments. Go to that page, fill out the form to let me know you're kind of interested. Hit that submit button, and I'll be in touch. You can also email me. I did set up thomas@iastream.net. Please make sure you use .net and .com. Eventually, I'll try to buy .com, but right now I don't own it. So send it to IAStream.net or my standard thomas@r-vmc.com. Or we're already here on LinkedIn. You can just go to my profile, hit message, and send me an instant message here on LinkedIn. Let me know you're interested. I'll get a little information from you, and we'll schedule a talk. I hope you're excited about it. I hope you like it. I hope you appreciate what you saw here. I will say, going back, there's one lady who signed on to be here. I'm not sure if Miss Tiffany is here or not. I hope she is, with Allies and Hope. I am on the board of directors for Allies and Hope. And Tiffany, if you will send me an email, I intend to provide IAStream for free to Allies and Hope to help the organization continue to take care of those who are struggling with the HIV and AIDS virus and really help support there. So Tiffany, please reach out to me if you're still on here, and let's make that happen. I definitely want to help continue helping this organization out the best I can. But with that, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You've got my contact information. Feel free to share this with as many people as you want. I want this to be a great platform that makes internal audit smoother, easier, and really just reduces the risk of everyone. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. I deeply, deeply appreciate it.